it's yeah, something along the lines of helpfulness. All right, well, anyway,
You need a job.
yeah, I guess,
How's the airplane coming?
yeah, like, I don't have enough to do with that. All right,
Fix your
anyway.
airplane. No, that's fine, and
Yeah.
thank you for doing that, that's, you know,
I'm
it
not
was a
done-
nice idea, and I'm sure Doug appreciates it.
I'm not done really, and we can, you know, elaborate on it. But if we come up with something along those lines, it would be easier for people. We could even go to a place like Staples and have them print out a chart you can send to the houses to give people some kind of
You know what, I
guideline.
think for the most part, most people try to pick a lighter color. First of all, if you get into a darker colors, they absorb the heat. Lighter colors are gonna reflect the heat, and not only that, but the darker colors, they fade quicker than anything.
Somebody told me everything turns out beige in Florida in the sun anyway. I don't know.
Well, but like I say, I
Might
think
take
for
too
the
long.
most part, everything's bright, you know, you don't find too many dark colored houses, maybe up north you might find,
Well, there's a few in our neighborhood even.
Yeah.
But,
yeah, well,
you know,
whatever.
and the thing is to try to put a lid on some of the craziness. That one lady painted the eaves and everything the same color, that dark brownish terracotta. So, I mean, you know, where do we draw the line?
Well, you're right, I mean, you can't get crazy. I mean, you know, you get somebody in there that decides they want a blue house with sky blue pink trim, I mean, no.
All right, well, I was just showing these, not that you're gonna vote or approve or anything like that at this point, but I was trying to move things closer to a guideline for us that would be acceptable to everybody, that they would understand.
Well, I make a motion, we approve your paint color chart and to be used as a guideline for the architecture.
You don't even have to do that if you want. Good.
No, it's fine. I mean, you went through all that work.
Well, it doesn't matter. I've done plenty of
No,
work
that's
in
fine. I
vain
mean,
in the
I'm sure
past.
anything is helpful.
All right.
I mean, especially when you're on a committee, anything is helpful.
All right.
So,
So, we'll move on. What else here?
I know what it's called.
Lease and sales update. What's
We
that,
did that,
Doug?
we're on to discussion of references for these applications.
Discussion of references for lease. Okay. Yeah, is that legal?
well, I just had some concerns. I mean, we do have a particular family in there that is renting now, where I've caught the kids taking fish out of the lake, bringing it back to the house, putting the fish in the pool, catching frogs, doing whatever. And they have 3 dogs that every once in a while the little girl takes them out and they run all over and do their business all over, whatever. And I know for a fact that the person that cleans the pool won't even go in there because the dogs leave their feces all over the pool area and can't even, but, okay, that's inside. I mean, the lady that rented the house, I mean, she's gonna have to put up with that when it's over, but.
Well,
my
they're
whole
backing
thing-
each other. I mean, the owner and the renter have sent letters saying, we absolutely did not do any of that.
That's not
I
true.
would like to talk to the person who witnessed it. You know, I mean, it was basically, and both of them supporting each other, saying this is not happening. I mean, they're just.
Hey,
they're just
Three
disagreeing.
As
dogs
far
are a
as
lot.
that-
Are these big dogs, are they barking all the time?
No, there's a couple little dogs and one poor old thing that's on its last legs. So, I mean, the whole thing is, no, it's,
Well, they have to be respectful of the rest of the
well,
community.
the whole thing is, I don't care what they do to her house, it's her house. I mean, she's gonna have to live with it after they move out. But the whole thing is that is not true. I mean, the kid took the screen off the window and evidently was sneaking out at night to meet his friends. And, I mean, people have seen it. I mean, when people are talking all over the neighborhood, yes, that is true. But, you know, it's her house, so, I mean, she's the one. But the only thing is, I yelled at them because he had 2 friends. They were older. I don't know if they live close and he met them or whatever. And I yelled one day from the lanai. I saw him take the fish and he threw it and I yelled, put that fish fish back in the lake, and I said.
Was it a carp?
I don't know what, no, I mean, we have
We
some.
need the carp.
We have some beautiful bass, big mouth bass in
How
there.
did they get it? They didn't stock it, did they?
I told you,
I
we
thought we were
got a
only supposed to
picture.
have triploid grass
My
carp.
grandson and his friend were here, they couldn't believe, they kept throwing them back, and they had a little contest going, okay, I got so many, you got so many. They were thrilled to death. They come from up north in a lake, they didn't get fish that big. And these kids are this kid was taking him out, and I know, because I talked to the person that saw it. So, I mean, I don't care, I mean, it's hearsay or whatever, but the whole thing is, I don't care what they do to the lady's house, she's the one that's gotta pay for it, but you're not gonna start taking our fish out of the lake and throwing them in a chlorinated pool, or go catching frogs and put them in a thing and leave it in there.
So is that, for those reasons,
No, my whole.
you're wanting to discuss having references from previous landlords?
Absolutely, we don't know where they came from, well,
But-
maybe they weren't good renters someplace
Yeah,
else.
but how does that affect it? Let's say they were a nuisance where they were last rented.
Then you can deny the rent,
We have that right?
yes, you do.
As
I
an
think-
association. We're not an apartment building that's renting out and we
It
can
doesn't
deny
make
it
any
based on
difference,
that.
all of a sudden, these people came in, people are talking, they have art decos on their front lawns or something, now these things are all, some of these things are missing.
I mean-
Kids are kids, they're gonna do whatever, they're gonna steal a street sign.
It
they're
might be a
gonna-
good idea to have a resolution drafted of the good cause reasons to deny a lease, so that it's out there in writing, here's
Well,
the
the whole
board is
thing
about
is,
for this reason,
if
so
you
they
could,
can't come back
if
and
you could ask
question.
on the lease, where have you rented before?
Mm-hmm.
Or, did you own, did you rent? Okay, so maybe you could call Joe Smith and whether he'll tell you or not, I
Or we
know,
could just have them list references.
where
or
they
make
rented.
that part of the application.
Okay, well, if they, for 5 years, they've rented someplace different every year, that's gotta send a little bell ringing in your head, hold it, something's not right. I mean, people don't move around like that, either they don't pay their rent, or they're not good renters, or whatever. But I mean, we have enough problems in there without not checking
Owners.
on renters. I mean, I've nothing against kids or whatever, that's fine. I
The
got
owner is
grandkids of my
ultimately
own.
responsible for their renter, and that's the person who has to be accountable.
And
the
that's
owner.
right, and some people
that's a
don't
good-
care,
that's a
as
good
long
point.
as they pocket the money, they could care less who's in there. If they're abiding by the rules or they're not abiding by the rules, as long as they're sticking the rent money in their pocket, they don't care.
It's another reason we need to get this book out to everybody, because lots of people have never seen those rules.
I mean, I'm just saying that we should put something on the application, you people check, okay, is it, they're a pedophile or this, or whatever. But I would like to know if 5 years, for the last 5 years, you've rented someplace different, and, that's gotta send some kind of a little bell up. I mean, okay, if somebody says, yes, we sold our house,
Yeah,
or,
they could be going to different places for a lot of different reasons. The guy that
Yeah,
that
that
owned
could
the
be-
last place could have went into foreclosure. A lot of people are getting screwed around in condos because the owner's taking their rent and splitting, and,
well, what
they're
I'm just
forced to
saying
leave
is when you
because he
get
didn't pay.
renters that have already ran into the garage door, the garage door is creased, and then you're going through all the stuff with the fish in the pool.
But
Well,
is
it's a
it
nuisance
reasonable
issue.
to say this is one tenant that's doing this, and we need to address that and get them either out or compliant? Or is it community-wide? Are we making a community-wide rule for one person that's
No,
already doing
I mean, you have another person that lives in here that runs a business out of the house, half the time leaves the garage door up, the paint cans are out, stuck behind the thing. Every once in a while, we have to send a letter to the owner and whatever, then it gets cleaned up for a while and everything's fine. Then it starts all over again. I mean, you can't
The
have
rules
that.
apply to everybody, whether you rent or you own. If the rent is a nuisance, then it's gotta be brought to their attention. It's gotta be brought to the owner's attention. And the owner shouldn't be going to bat if we have a legitimate argument. That owner is not being respectful to his neighbors, her
So-
neighbors.
Do we have to